They're all duplicates.
There was also better pictures showing the torch marks.
Could be. I'll do it. You want? Okay.
It's up to you guys.
No, let's do it. Whatever.
What do you want to do? You go through
for you.
That same thing. Go on.
Zip too fast. I'm good.
Another shot of the portal, of the vortex, of the cross point. I'm sorry. Same thing.
Anything to stop me from running a power line
Okay.
on top of it.
Can you back up one?
Yeah.
Back up to what you had that thing before.
Here, right?
Between that one is a different time period of day. The energetics of that picture as opposed to the next one is very different.
Maybe another sensor can pick that up.
As in higher or lower, better, worse, or just different?
Different. They're at random now.
Whoops.
Another picture of the magic gun.
Okay.
I mean,
There's going to be a lot of them.
Yeah, I know. Jan took loads of those.
You know what you want. These are
Same
different.
Same thing. Go on. Go on.
Going as fast as you can.
Especially he's got it loaded.
I know. That's another shot of the power welding shop.
That you see.
Those insulate.
No.
See?
Those things provided 20 kV. Another shot. That's the same thing. Go on.
There's the torch marks, which is not as clear.
Yeah. Same thing. Go on. You say there's lots of those.
Okay. Gonna jump outside.
Okay, this is a closer shot of the antenna, but not close enough. You can see all the cables going in this box on the bottom. They're doing phased array work with this thing. You see cables running up it. These are dry. This is a series of dipoles. We've got a close-up of this somewhere in there.
This is over the horizon radar.
Yes, it is. That doesn't matter. That's all fuzzed out. I guess you also picked up the bad ones.
Well, I'm telling you, I took them out, but you want to see those.
Same thing. Keep going. Oh, we can run them quick.
As best I can.
Yep. That's a dud.
Yeah, but I can't.
This is better than walking through the place.
It's better.
That's the burning?
Yeah, that's the burning.
Outside again, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. That's the game horn.
And these have no value to them now, to use somewhere else.
Well, I'm sure they're valued.
Sure they are.
Transport.
Until the put somebody back in business there.
That's the cop's car.
Did you come out to see what you were doing?
Yeah. Cop came in and looked in every couple of hours.
Really?
It's a shot of the whole town, like. That's 4-0 right there.
Nice.
We had a permit to get in there,
Yeah.
a day permit.
Another shot of the antenna. Let's keep
How
going.
difficult is it to get a permit?
Very.
How'd you manage?
The fellow got it through the alleged connection to the senator. Continue. That's another amplitron. Another one continue. You can tell when they left, they took off in a hurry. You can see this junk strewn everywhere. The military doesn't leave it like this.
How many of those tubes were there?
2.
What is it? Yeah, I got the...
Continue. That's another shot.
That's welding torch up there.
Yeah. There's 2 big ones. Big ones. Notice they're always where this would turn and go up.
What were they cutting at? Was there something coming out of the wall?
Yes. The wave guide went up like this. This thing was quite disassembled.
I wouldn't cut that thing running. I wouldn't want to open wave guide.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't. Another shot of the tube. I can assure you I didn't cut it apart. Another shot of the tube. Big deal.
They probably ordered some private to do it who didn't know what was going on.
No, Pruitt himself did.
They did? Pruitt himself did that?
Pruitt himself cut it apart.
He must have been desperate.
What would a tube like this cost?
This is a C-23J, which today is about $4,500. Another shot of the Amplatron.
The Amplatron's a little more expensive, I guess.
Yes, the Amplatron's worth about $250,000.
Each one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another shot of the Amplatron. We can go on.
Much more. An Amplatron here?
It even has built-in vacuum pump, which you can see here.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Okay.
Now work on it.
Get into that. Pull the chair back in here somewhere.
Now we go on to the Philadelphia experiment,
Right.
otherwise known as nonsense at sea.
Earlier project which started this whole business off, so far as I can determine, that was the infamous Philadelphia experiment, so-called because in its final phases was conducted in the harbor outside the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It originally began back, I'll condense this quite a bit, it originally began back in the 30s in Chicago with three people, Dr. John Hutchinson Sr., who was the dean of the University of Chicago, Nikola Tesla, and a third man by the name of Dr. Kurtenauer, who was an Austrian physicist who was apparently on staff.
Now work on it.
Get into that. Pull the chair back in here somewhere.
Now we go on to the Philadelphia experiment,
Right.
otherwise known as nonsense at sea.
Earlier project which started this whole business off, so far as I can determine, that was the infamous Philadelphia experiment, so-called because in its final phases was conducted in the harbor outside the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It originally began back, I'll condense this quite a bit, it originally began back in the 30s in Chicago with three people, Dr. John Hutchinson Sr., who was the dean of the University of Chicago, Nikola Tesla, and a third man by the name of Dr. Kurtenauer, who was an Austrian physicist who was apparently on staff at the University of Chicago. They decided about that time to try and do something about all of the speculation rampant at that time and for years prior about things like invisibility and how could you possibly make an object invisible and so on. They got together and researched the thing and did some work at the University of Chicago around 31, 32. In 33, the Institute of Advanced Studies at Princeton, New Jersey was formed, and the project was transferred there probably about 34. Now, one of the first people on staff at the University Institute of Advanced Studies was Dr. John Eric von Neumann, who was from Hungary, Budapest. He had his degree about 1925 in chemistry and 26 in physics, PhD in math. Taught in Europe for about 4 years and transferred to the United States. He taught at the graduate school at Princeton for 3 years and was invited to join the Institute. Other people at the Institute, of course, included Albert Einstein, who left Germany in 1930, went to the California Institute of Technology for 3 years, taught there, then went to the Institute upon their invitation and acceptance. A lot of other people showed up there as time went on. But the project expanded about 1936. In the meantime, of course, Tesla was named as director of the project because he was a very good friend of a certain gentleman in the White House known as Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who he originally met in 1917 when Roosevelt was the Secretary of the Navy, and Tesla was asked at that time to do some work for the government, for the war effort, which he did. And they maintained their friendship. When he became president, Roosevelt, so far as I can determine, called him down to Washington and asked him, well, how would you like to work for the government again?